Austin A40. Now, I have just been reliably told that some of the cars leaving possibly have left because of a football match at Aston Villa playing, but surprised they don't just have a proper day of it here. There are the V8 Rover P6, Austin A40 next door alongside. The Austin 6, and there's our resident photographer there. Taking photographs, there we are, for the magazines and whatnot, various other publications I should imagine. The Austin Healey Sprite there as well. Another, looks like a bit of a customised Morris Minor here. Looks like the young people will like this one. Another one next door. Some people think it's sacrilege any form of modification, but of course if the car was to be scrapped, like this lady said, with the 4 Model A and the A60, she said it was going to be scrapped. Well, it's better to keep it on the road in some form than not at all. So there we are. These go on for years, these Morris Minors there. They're see, there's a totally different engine there. I think one's been converted to an electric car. Which see, totally modified there, the Morris Minor. And certainly, oh well, people complain that that's the way things are going. The electric cars these days. Now the Austin 7 here, trying to get around these cars. Austin Healey there as well, the Austin Healey. Alright. And the 1960 Austin A40 Farina here, there we are. And alongside 1946 Austin 8 here, there we are. Get a few shots of some of these cars at least. Maybe not every car, certainly hoping to get at least one of virtually every model here. At least some form of shot here. In the filming, there we are, the 1929 Austin 7 RK Saloon here. Lovely Austin 7. I think it's a car that Jeremy Clarkson tonight. Once a year, so it's nice to stay longer and perhaps leave other people a chance to see the cars and sort of promote the heritage of the cars and continue prosperity of the marque. There we are, the minis are this side, there's other cars here, continuing the walk around here at Cofton Park. There's something very rare and certainly modified here, the Austin Allegro Turbo here. And there you are. Twin cam 16, well, I think it's probably the Rover 200 engine. There we are. Turbo Allegro, there we are. Certainly rare, certainly unique. T-Reg. Rover 25. In Cofton Park. Still some cars coming in here. Rovers and MGs. 12:25 here at Cofton Park. A few photographs here. The marina there on the Marina Estate. There we are, the workhorse in the marina. In the shade here, certainly coming out warm here. Bit of breeze, but certainly better than forecast. Here we have the Rover 200 and 400 Club here. Talking to the lady from Gloucester with the marina, the workhorse marina. Now, I decided I'm going to have to go around some of the other cars shortly, because majority of cars I'm looking at the moment are the Rover 225s and MGZSs and the likes, and cars, all cars that I've certainly filmed before here this morning. So I will endeavour to try and do the cars I haven't seen and some of the models not seen. Well, another Rover 75 there, and the Rover 400. They can see how popular they are here. People do like to go past and make comments about the grandfather having one, etc. There we are, Rover 45 is probably, had a 45, probably got this one as well. But some people have got more than one car. The Rover 600. Nice colour as well. I think it's the GSI, probably the. I think they did a 2.3. There was a 2 litre and a 2.3, I believe, in the top model. There we are. 1990s. I think they called them compact executive. Market it was slotted into, similar to a Honda Accord. Now the marina, the interior of the marina here, up from Gloucester. Anybody who's been before will have seen some of the cars before. Anybody who's watched any of my productions will have seen some of the cars before on some of the productions. If you remember, if you've been through some of them. So any that I've missed, I probably shouldn't feel too bad about it. Especially if they're leaving early. I did have a word with the organiser about that. There's nothing she can do about it. Probably a couple of years ago when I mentioned it. But it'd be nice if they stayed a bit longer. I suppose if they had to pay £5 or £6, they probably would stay a little bit longer. But there we are, apparently football and other distractions. And over that way is the metros, I do believe. And possibly them designated mini section. In case you're wondering, the Rover 200 was built in collaboration with Honda, the Honda Concerto, and here's one even here. Honda Concerto, that's similar to the Rover 200. The collaboration with Honda. There we are. 1990 Rover 416 GTI. There we are. Top of the range, 34,000 miles. There we are. Right, rare model there, top of the range GTI. Leather, certainly rare. Automatic. Even got the electric rear windows, which of course majority of them didn't have. I don't think any of them had, but certainly would have been extra. The GTI. Of course, some people didn't want electric windows in those days. Didn't want them at all. For fear they might go wrong and you're stuck with the window open all night. But there we are. Certainly my grandparents didn't want things like electric windows and anything too technical that could go wrong. Seems that every car's got built-in potential problems these days with electronics. There we are. In certain ways, the Longbridge Rally. Well, here we have the police are here. Metro Owners Club. There we are. Metro Owners Club.co.uk. Anybody wants to have a look on the internet? The police. Because it was Metro on the Rover 100. It's the Metro C 1100. There we are. The Metro C 1100, and certainly with the police livery, Metropolitan Police. Known for the good handling. And the late Keith Woodfield had one of the last ones with a mini Metro badge, so he said. Sadly, Keith died in 2018. But Colin Cork, the vicar of the parish, does have a Metro and other cars, Allegros, and even an Austin Princess, I do believe. There we are. Rover 100s and Metros here. And the MG Metro, of course, great handling. Of course, the cars have stood the test of time. Not sure which one belonged to the vicar. Colin Cork, or Father Colin Cork. The Longbridge MG Rover enthusiast come vicar. It's all Christ-centred. So if you're not on any parish work, of course, he will be here, presumably in this section. Well, I'm not sure which car he's bought today. Of course, he is part of a club, of course. We bring various cars. One Metro Advantage there. Of course, 4-door. Not so many 4-doors made, but of course, nice family alternative. The City X here. Well, here we have a Rover 114 GSI, the 1.4 engine, the quick engine used in the Rover 200 of the day. And it's a GSI, top of the range, 1998. There we are, good condition. And, well, very solid. R-Reg. 5-door. And the MG Metro next door, the early MG Metro. Great handling on these cars as well. Can't become very popular these days now, more popular than perhaps they were about 10-15 years ago. Another MG Metro. Another Metro, of course, similar to the Rover 100s as well, of course. Metro GTI. More sporty than the Rover 45. MGZS Rover 45 Tour, there we are. Rover 416 GTI. Walk round continued. Hopefully, won't be leaving. I know there's a few coming late, but there are some leaving early. Apparently something to do with football, I do believe. Aston Villa. Well, of course, a lot of them have, as I pointed out, have come from different areas, far and wide, even from overseas. So they won't be living around Birmingham. Honda Concerto. Lovely that it's brightened up here. Stark contrast to the weather forecast, which was rain, I must admit, and cloud. Certainly brightened up quite early on, by about 11 o'clock. So there we are, Rover 75 in the silver there. Another one there, the facelift, of course. Some Puritans and traditionalists prefer the Mark 1.
Oh yeah.
Alongside the MGZTs as well, of course. Rover 75s. Of course, the ZT was a sportier version. We even got a TVR here. Sadly, it went bankrupt when I think they were taken over by the Russians. The TVR, unfortunately, another Russian instigated problem, which we're involved with. There we are. GVR Chimera 450, there we are, the W Reg around about year 2000 in the sports car here. TVR Chimera. Sadly, another defunct make. Certainly would love to see it come back with Rover, but can't see it happening at the moment. The Rover 75 V8 there, that's the difference in that when you see the grille. Diesel condensate 2005, 199,000 miles. In from Belgium here. Two 6s here. .co.uk. It's a V8 thing. Well, there we are. Sounds like it's the V8 club here in row 75s. An MG ZT is possibly more likely to be the MG ZTs, which of course is the sports version of the row 75. The MG version, really. Interesting colours as well here. Even get a burger or a pasty on there. Hopefully it is a genuine Cornish pasty. Because they can't call it a Cornish pasty if it's not actually from Cornwall, a bit like the Yorkshire puddings, I believe, certainly. Statues now. Like champagne coming from France rather than Bollinger's alternative or anything else, which of course is sparkling wine or whatever. There we are. This is Longbridge Rally at Cofton Park. Going down the line here. A lot of people here. Enthusiasts, workers and owners alike. MG ZT and MG ZT 385 and 385 horsepower. Some people go to other car shows, some people may only see each other once a year. This is only once a year, exclusively for MG Rover Austin cars and cars produced at the factory, and it's all free, getting busier every year according to the organiser Gemma Cartwright. I haven't seen the merchandise this year. Certainly, they had a few shirts and t-shirts, sweatshirts one year. And from France here, there we are, the MG ZT in from France. Now there has been French cars here before. Now, MGB GT coming out here, folks. Bit early, but looks like he's off. Unfortunately, lovely car nevertheless there. And a lovely Morris commercial here. The Morris commercial here. Now, not far from the Maestro Montego Owners Club, the Rover P6 here, so I'll soon go over there. Lovely colour. Rover 800 now. This is going to be the top of the range actually, the Vitesse. What's Sterling? It's a Sterling, isn't it?
Sterling, yeah.
Thought so, yeah. Nice car.
Thank you.
Rover. Government minister's favourite at one time, of course. When they had a bit of decency, which hasn't lasted, certainly gone downhill in the last 6-8 months as well with our Starmer. but not sure if they know what a British car is nowadays. Don't seem to know what anything is, even what a woman is in terms of style. But there we are, lovely Rover 800 Sterling here. Another car to walk around here, so I'll crack on a bit further. Bit of merchandise here. Nice to see various age groups here represented. A lot of the younger people are very enthusiastic about the cars, and of course a lot of the MGs were bought by younger people, certainly, or later range as well. Well, just a quick look round. The majority of these models will have been seen at least in some form previous filming. Coming up to 1 o'clock here. I presume the late Pope's funeral must have finished by now. Life too short not to want a flag there. A lot of enthusiasm here at Cofton Park for the Longbridge Rally, Pride of Longbridge 20th anniversary, so more reason to stay a lot longer. Also got the over 200s and BRMs and the likes. Southeast Club, established in 2009. As I say, I can't really do every car, so I never get round them. So I must admit, a couple of years ago there was a lot of people gone by about 3:30. And the MG TM there. No excuse, I got lunch here, cups of tea, coffee and various refreshments. There, another Metro there in red. Not Keith Woodfield's, he had a red one, I do believe. We bought it in what, 2013-14, sadly died in 2018. I think he was quite ill at the time, perhaps, he was in hospital. Yeah, another Mini coming out here, haven't been down here yet, so I'll crack on down there. The Mini 1275 GT Clubman. Haven't been round yet. And here we have the Triumph Acclaim. Here, there we have the Triumph Acclaim. First car to be produced with Honda. 1979. There we are. Nice interior there. And we have the Austin Princess next door here. The Austin Princess. There we are. Lovely red colour here. So 2.2 HL here, there with the Austin Princess. Got the Mini leaving there, unfortunately leaving a bit early. The Austin Princess. There we are, that lovely Rover Mark 1. I haven't seen a club dedicated to Christians as yet. We've all got to be a witness, of course, and right, there we are. All originally by the looks of it. Lovely interior there. GBM V8S there, Mark 1. Another Austin Princess, quite rare now, 1800 there. The Austin Princess. There we are. MG Metro as well there. Got Tramp here, TR6 of course. A lot of sports cars go to classic car shows. Lovely car for the summer. The MG F and TF. We're coming out here. TF. Probably a bit early. Are you leaving already?
Yeah.
Bit early?
Fancy a beer.
I haven't been round yet. I haven't seen them all. There we are. After a beer. Plenty of time for that, mind you. There we are. And we have the MG here, that lovely sports version of the 1100. I think he's probably put leather seats in it, non-standard seat. That's the 1300, there we are. The 1300. Always see something different. Not many of these around. Once heard of a lady who traded one of these, and I think it was one of these for a Mini years ago. Well, the new Mini, I must say, was got to be over 10 years ago.